not only man, but also nature, isn't this the way to go? I'm not suggesting there's a blanket solution to this, because different parts of the world will operate differently. The local people will have different needs. And above all else, one needs to make sure that exploitation of the land, the animals that are essentially part of that living environment, and the people are not marginalized or taken advantage of in any way. Hunting can be used effectively, but the ethical things the boundaries of those are very, very blurred. Now, what I'm going to do is ask Pete in the control booth to please play clip number 2 that I would like us to have a look at for this evening. Wow, and there you have it. The hunters have their say, and definitely so do you. It's fantastic to see you guys debating so hectically between all the issues. If I can read you some of your comments. Thank you, Rose 1111. You basically, the WildEarth viewers, picked up on the crux of the matter that I think that video completely missed. Rose 1111. There are places where humans have taken all the room for deer, and controlled hunting is needed. Colleen said, yeah, that's the problem. We have taken their room. And then we got some other pearls. Pete, if you could lift that one page up for me so I can see the comments. All for Athena. I know where this is going. Fruitless puppy. Man. Pesendolvu. We all know, but the question is, what do we choose to about it? That is such an excellent statement, Pesendolvu. What do we plan to do about it? Are we going to try and understand the issues at stake here and get better management principles going and try and forge a platform of understanding? And the original Kim J says, who are we to play God and decide which animals live and which don't? Okay, original Kim J, I can't argue with you there. I think that's a very, very valid statement. I think what we need to do, Wild Earthers, is we need to think very carefully about these things because we have to be realistic. That video for me was terrible. And the reason why I'm saying it was terrible is because if the hunters have a point to make, why not make that point based on fact? If, for example, the deer were indeed destroying the forest, why not bring some kind of scientific verification or backup into this to show that they are actually performing an ecological service, for example? The problem is that when people associate sort of hunting with these kinds of things, personally, I must tell you guys, I would never want an animal's head on my wall. The thought of actually going out to shoot an animal just for a completely pointless purpose like that is not me. But by the same token, I have to admit and I have to understand that hunting is a business, and there's no way that we're going to stop it. It is impossible. It is too much of a money-making business. And in a very warped way, it would seem that there are possibilities, there are ways of taking that money and putting it back into conservation. Now I did my homework on this, and there really are some very, very successful areas where people have actually sort of preserved areas in order to hunt. And we have to say that there's a large percentage of wild and sort of more natural habitats that would not exist today if it wasn't for hunting. Leah says, that short film brought it right home because I'm sitting in a leather chair. Leah, it's fine. I've got camera on the couch, so at least I'm off the hook on that one. But it really does make one think. Boyan says, there is a difference between killing for fun and for survival. That is the basic thrust, the thread that I wanted to discuss with you guys tonight, because just saying that something should not happen doesn't mean that it will not. And like one of you guys commented earlier, what are we going to do about it? The point of SLAPP and to pull these issues out in the open is because they're uncomfortable. We need to start thinking about these things from a different perspective. And whilst we don't necessarily have to agree with things that are happening, we should certainly take into account the fact that rather have something in hand and something that is managed properly, something that ultimately does affect us all and our well-being as a collective entity on this planet, but at the same time caters for, let us say, the diverse needs of others. Just because I don't understand why somebody would want the head of a dead animal, which is far more beautiful alive, on their wall is beyond me. But I think we need to acknowledge the fact that it will happen regardless of what we think. Tiger Lady 105, I would like to know what alternatives are workable so that animals can live in harmony with people where they share the territory. Thanks, Tiger Lady. That actually goes back to what some of the previous ladies were talking about, i.e., in many parts of the world, the habitats that are left for these creatures is put under severe strain. And I've got a funny suspicion, without knowing all the facts, that the video that you saw there did touch upon a very real issue. I mean, the hunters brought it to the fore for a reason. There is a good ability that there are too many numbers of deer in that particular area and that they are causing more environmental harm than they are good. So it is an ecologically sound message, but the way that they brought it across was very weak. It almost felt like they were trying to pander for the violin music and the sort of soft emotional side, where if they perhaps addressed us like we were an intelligent audience, that we might actually just get it from their point of view. And I think